I got a great Christmas haul for my pops. It's R.L. Wilson's Colt, the American Legend book, with all this ornate detail. It is the most thorough examination of Colts that has ever been written. And why not? R.L. Wilson was the foremost expert in Colts in the mid-1900s. He was an appraiser, he was a broker, and he was a dealer. Huh, that's weird. And then he helps you determine whether this is a $2,000 Colt or a $200,000 Colt. He can do it all in a one-shop stop. Because before the age of the internet, that's what you had to do. And before auction houses were actually selling guns, that's what you had to do. Except R.L. Wilson wasn't the most ethical person in the world, and he had a couple of shady dealings, including where he tried to pawn off a bunch of Colts to an individual who had got all his money from his dad, but he wanted that money back now, and those Colts weren't selling. So he goes to the Connecticut State Library, which got all the Colt reference collection from actual Colt with explicit details not to sell those guns and only to trade them for exact duplicates that were in better shape. Except R.L. Wilson convinces the museum to take an 8-gun trade for 290 firearms out of the Colt collection. This wasn't one for one. This wasn't a duplicate thing. And in fact, 4 of those guns that he traded into the collection had a little bit of issues. 2 of them were actually stolen from the Colts reference collection, so the museum technically owned them to begin with. And then 2 of them were believed to be fraudulent copies, which then means that everything that R.L. Wilson has ever done comes into question, because if he was fraudulent on that deal, and then future deals, which actually do get him arrested. I mean, Connecticut State Police look into this deal, and they find that he was in fact guilty, but don't press charges because the statute of limitations expire. Getting ahead of myself. In any case, how can you trust this book with all these information on Colts if maybe as the dealer, auctioneer, and appraiser, and broker, he might be trying to artificially inflate these guns, or even fabricating. Look, was that gun really like that from the factory, or did he make it like that? We will never know. And since he was a foremost expert on all things Colt, it really has destroyed all research on Colts, because it almost all circles back to R.L. Wilson. Yay, fraud!